Hi everyone, welcome home. Jarrell here, bringing you some of that late night energy. Today I'll be explaining to you how to tune your zither, or autoharp, or lyre, or if you have one of these, sometimes you might find a harp guitar and it's got some harp strings and zither pegs on there. Now this is a question that I've received a few times now over the past couple of weeks as I've been sharing my zithers, my autoharp. People have been asking, what do you use to tune them? So, over my experience with these instruments, especially dealing with instruments that are more than 100 years old, right up to more modern instruments, I generally have found really just mostly one standard size for these pegs, which means that you can mostly use the same one key for tuning all of these zithers and autoharps. The only difference I've seen is in these more modern lyres, which are very attractive and quite adorable and cute. These have a smaller diameter peg, so they take a different key. So I'll explain those to you. And lastly, the only other size that I have encountered is on a harp guitar, and these are not standard sized zither pegs. This one was built in China, and it uses what amounts to the size that you would find in a piano. So if you search for a piano tuning key, then you'll find the dimensions for that. So I'm not necessarily going to explain the techniques. This video is generally going to be about what you need to look for if you don't have a tuning key. So there are people out there who have acquired an autoharp or a zither, or they found one in their attic or their barn or storage of some kind, and they want to be able to tune it up and play it. So the easiest way to do that, very simple, very easy, go to somewhere like Amazon or eBay and search for zither tuning key or autoharp tuning key, and you will probably end up finding something that looks like this. There are really two common shapes that you're going to see for that. You're either going to see that have this grip handle there, or you're going to see this style. Now, I do not actually like this style. The reason why I really don't like it is because you are applying an uncomfortable amount of perpendicular force. And depending on the instrument that you're tuning, you may need to apply more or less torque. But as you're applying torque, you're also applying perpendicular force, and you're actually bending that. So I've seen videos on YouTube of people who have been playing harps and lyres and zithers, where their keys were just, pardon my French here, totally jacked up. Their pegs were bent, at all these strange angles, and people in their comment section were applauding them, and wow, you're doing such a great job with that instrument. No, you're not doing a great job with your instrument. You're destroying it because you're not tuning it correctly. You're not using the right tools, the right technique to tune it. You've destroyed that instrument. And you can see that this is how they should be. They should be perfectly straight. And if you were to use a key like this, you can end up actually bending it, and then you're going to destroy the tuning peg there. So that's generally what you'll find. Now, on older instruments, there's a significant amount more stair-stepping, and that means that as you tune up and down, the peg will not smoothly turn. It'll actually just jump into certain spots like it's stepping on a stair. For older instruments, it can help to have this kind of leverage because they can be very difficult to turn. So that is something to consider. But in general, I will never use these unless someone's got a gun to my head and they're forcing me to use this kind of tuning key. I would never use that. I greatly much prefer these. This one actually came from my should be from my 50s Germany zither. This one came with that. And you can see it sits on comfortably there, and you can hold and have a good grip there. Now, I generally will try to 3 points of contact, as if you're rock climbing, but I'll generally rest my arm on this mechanism here so I can sit comfortably so I'm not floating around up here. That allows me to make very minute adjustments very quickly and comfortably. So that's generally what I keep in mind when I'm tuning. You'll often find older instruments. This one, I believe, came with... this one may have come with another old zither from Germany. I think this one may be from the 20s. And it's cast iron. It's quite beautiful, fantastic. And even then, very old instruments, they have the same sized tuning pegs. This is generally the most common kind of zither. This is referred to as a guitar zither, but it can also, this one in particular can be referred to as a mandolin zither, and that is because it is a guitar zither, but it has paired unison strings here. So it gives you that chorus effect. This one is probably from around the 50s or 60s. I haven't looked into it much because it doesn't super matter to me for this particular one, but I can use these very old cast iron keys and they sit on there perfectly. Well, this particular one is quite old and it does have a bit more slack. There's a little bit of imperfection on that. Even, you know, the one from the 50s has a deeper seat, which is very nice. You want to have a nice deep seat on that. And of course, even the newer, very new pegs, or key, the tuning key, will work. Now this is, I had to buy this separately. I ordered this harp guitar from China, and it did not include a tuning key, so I had to get one separately. And that is so big that just swallows it up, doesn't fit in there. Okay. And lastly, for these modern lyres. These are quite charismatic and adorable. There's so many different kinds of these. You can order them from China on eBay or Amazon. There's so many different kinds. Look, I'm going to be honest here, they're quite adorable. There's so much charm to these instruments. And if you want something just fun, something to pluck around with, if you are a living room or a front porch musician, these are so fun. Of course, I'm not doing a review on that, but if you think this is kind of neat and you'd like one, just type in, you know, lyre, L-Y-R-E, into eBay or Amazon. I got this one off eBay. It was like probably $50 US. I'm not doing a review on that, you know. So the standard harp key, or auto harp, or zither key, it's quite loose. It's very loose, uncomfortably loose. I'll use this one here, and it's not good. You'll strip that out. You see it wobbles a significant amount as I do that. But this one, these generally will always come with their own tuning key. Ooh, that was very clumsy of me, wasn't it? These will come with their own tuning key, but if for some reason you lose your tuning key, just search for lyre tuning key, L-Y-R-E, and you will find the key for that. Okay, I hope this has been useful to you. And before I wrap up, I'll just show you that the zither tuning keys don't fit on this at all. Not even a little. So on these you want to search for a piano tuning key. And that will fit on there. That's larger. And I have one more tip for you. One big tip. So let's say that you're playing your harp, your auto harp or your zither, you're playing a gig and you left your tuning key at home, and this gig happens to be in someone's barn or something, and there's a bunch of tools everywhere. So you can, worst case scenario, in an emergency, you can use one of these sort of sockets, you know. I think if I grab the 3/16, is that it, or a 7/32? Let's just test that here. No, I was right. It's the 3/16. So I'm going to grab the 3/16 socket, and that does fit on there. Now it's slightly different shape, but it happens to just fit correctly. It happens to fit just right. I would use that as my main tuner. So yeah, if there happens to be a socket set nearby, if it's an emergency and you need to tune up, a 3/16 will do it for you. Well, I hope that has been useful for you, and I've got more videos coming up, so if you have a request, please feel free to comment, and I'll try to create a video that's useful for you. And I hope you're having a safe holiday season. Please drive safely out there. And yeah, I'll be doing videos coming up next on how to play the autoharp, what sort of picks to use, picking and strumming patterns, and how to play the autoharp with other musicians. So I hope you're well. Thanks so much for watching, and come home again soon.